Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the new channel, TNC. Here to help you see the new you. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo, your host to this wonderful program, the HR Hotline. Welcome back to the HR Hotline. There are a lot of friends of ours who are watching. It would be nice if you can post where you are and tell us what associations or groups you are a member right now, your current affiliations. You would like to know that. You would like to know that if you are an association person. For our insights, I'll tell you a story. Because the topic for today, it's actually about an association's event. Ever since when I was in grade school in Legazpi City, my siblings were actually enrolled in the private Catholic schools. But because of a poem, oh, look at the moon, it is shining up there. In a contest at the Albay Park, Locsin Park, may he rest in peace, then Mayor Los Baños gave me as a prize a 10 peso, that was big before, a 10 peso scholarship to Albay Central School. So among the siblings, I started studying in the public school. So I am a product, and I'm very proud of that, of the public schools. My story is, since grade 1, I was the president of the class. Would you believe that? Of course, I was also the valedictorian, but they always voted me as the president of the class. And I think it's up to grade 6. Then when I enrolled at the Bicol University High School, when I was fourth year, I was the president of the school council. Of course, I was also very, very much involved with the voice of democracy. And then, to continue the story, I was a coordinator, a regional coordinator of the Student Assistance Committee. If it rings a bell, that's actually from my mentor, George Revilla. And I was a national coordinator, mind you. When I was third year high school, fourth year high school, first year college, and second year college. Which is why I am used to going up to Baguio. And at the time, the events were actually before Christmas. So there was a Christmas Eve that I was traveling from Baguio back to Bicol. And that was an experience for a growing up kid. Then after that, I started working here in Manila. I studied MBA. And that was the reason for coming here. I was able to convince my dad because they don't want me to leave Legazpi, that I would like to take up masters. Then after that, I joined. Which comes first? I think I joined PMAP. PMAP. That's the People Management Association of the Philippines. At the time, it was Personnel Management Association of the Philippines. Then I joined committees, one of which was that so that I will look a little bit deep. I joined the research committee of Grace Sata. And then after that, when I transferred to Inquirer, I met Chito San Mateo. He invited me to be active with the Philippine Society for Training and Development. But I think before that, I was already a member of PSTD when I was with Overray Construction. So the point is, I am an association person. And it's already being realized that now I am a trustee of the Philippine Association and Association Executives, PCAE. Why? What is the insight? No one is an island. And people are gregarious. Even here in the community, I am not the president, but I'm an active board member. The health protocols, trying to look into those who are coming in, the delivery boys. I am so active. Even here in the house, I am the leader of the pack. Whenever I go, my pets are with me. So that means that no one is an island. You have to be in an association because man is a social being. Right now, I am very, very much engaged with the People Management Association of the Philippines, and we are preparing for the annual conference come October 21, 22, 23. I am also very, very much involved with the preparations of the Philippine Society for Talent Development National Convention come November 15 and 16 and 17. Also with PCAAE Summit come November 25 and 26. Oh, see, I memorized that. And to add, I am the president of POPs, currently the president of POPs. And we have a summit next month, October 15 and 16. So, four big events. It's everyone's life. You have to be engaged. If you remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs, after the basic needs at the bottom, you have the belonging needs. Where do you belong? I am a resident here in Marcelo, so I have to be engaged with the homeowners association. I am, but I miss this, a parishioner of Malate Church. I am a resident of Parañaque and a parishioner of Malate. But right now, I am online. I am a parishioner of Rome, Coleo, Pontifical Coleo. But going back, which is why I bring my plants to the altar. I am a honorary member of the Mother Butler. Honorary because that is supposed to be for ladies. But since I am bringing my plants, they made me an honorary member. Why PMAP? Because for the longest time, I was with HR. I was the HR AVP, Director of Inquirer. So I have to be with PMAP. Why PSTD? Because right now, I'm doing webinars, right and left. I am doing managing work from home and other alternative working arrangements webinars. And it's a bestseller. I am doing for eco succession planning. I am doing emotional intelligence webinars. Since I am with learning and development, so I have to be with PSTD. Since I am with associations, I have to be with PCAAE. Since I speak and I am being paid for it, I have to be with the Philippine Association of Professional Speakers. It is not that I would like to have accolade or I want to be given a title. No. The reason for being is that that is what I do, then I should belong to that particular association. Just like, say, for PAPS, the goal or the objective is actually to protect the industry. So I am part of that speaking industry. So I have to be there. So which is why today we are going to discuss the, the, an event of the of a PMAP chapter outside Manila. They are going to have a regional conference. I used to speak either one or twice. They invited me. I am talking in particular the PMAP Cebu Chapters regional conference. Now I invited the program director. He's a friend. I met him before and I was really struck, awestruck. But he's because he is a very good events host and moderator. And I think that was way, way back before 2014, even before I was president of PMAP. Then again, when I was president of PMAP, he is a graduate of psychology of San Carlos University. He has been the chapter president of PSTD way back in 2014 and a PMAP board member. he has written books. Ay, idol ko. Anybody who has written books, because that's one of those. I am now editing a book, and I used to be an editor in Working People in Inquirer, but I haven't written a book. Although I collaborated with my mom with his books on paintings, I was the one who again came up and edited some of the poems in that book, but I haven't. So this guy has written 2, 3 books. He's my idol. He's a managing consultant of IdeasCentral in Cebu. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Jovenir Bataican.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so
Good
much.
afternoon, Jovenir. You haven't changed. Still the guapo Jovenir.
You're so
How is
generous.
Cebu? How is Cebu?
Cebu's doing much better. Fortunately, our cases, as far as we've done the headline before because we have the longest lockdown, so we're doing fine and improving. Medyo makulimlim po today, but yeah, it's everything's doing fine.
I
So
understand. Actually the invitation is for the president. The president is Grace
iligan.
Iligan. But
Yes,
she told me that she has some connectivity problems. The the Wi-Fi is not so strong, so she rather gave the 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 floor to you. And it would be nice because I really would like also. You are actually also in my list of guests to be here. So nauna na, nauna na.
she's
So
actually my neighbor, sir. So I can just drag her down here just to she should be here. She should be
yes,
the
yes, yes. So
right.
yes, but of course I'm going to invite again Grace when her connectivity is really is okay. Okay, please inform her. Please
I will.
inform her.
I think she's
Yes,
watching
yes.
this.
Yes, and then also the reason why, because also Grace told me that she's still working from home because she's unlike me, and also Ninit Mantalav. We are scared going out because of our what do you call this? What do you call that? Yeah, of our condition. We are there's a term for that. There's a
You're just
term for that.
sweet.
Yes, yes. Okay. Who are Aside from Grace, who's the president, who are the members of the PMAP Cebu chapter officers, the board?
I'll run them down so I can remember them. And we just had a meeting yesterday. So the vice president, who happens to be the chair for the regional conference, is Ray Felnar of Vivant. And we also have Chito Recamadas of IntelliCare, Ninette
Oh,
Mata,
Chito, yes, yes, yes.
the eternal young person of Cebu, the party boy. Yes, no COVID can stop him. We have Pinky Mante, the immediate past president, our trustee, Sir Michael Godinez, who was actually interviewed by you, sir, before.
Yes, yes, I had
Yes,
Michael here.
yes,
Yes.
brilliant guy.
Oh,
And we have, oh my goodness, I could not remember everyone. Odette Kambonga, we have Jocelyn Cannon, we have Ian Rial, Andy Parini, and a host of other people, Joe Cinco, and the other half of
wow. Give
yes.
my give my regards and my it's not anymore virtual. Hug them for me. How about Pricks? My dear friend Pricks, how is he? Uh, yes, there is a problem on the connectivity. It's raining here in Manila, and it's makulimlim. Yes, were you able to get it, uh, Juvenir? How is Pricks?
Sir
How?
Prix.
Yes.
Sir Prix is doing very well, and I think he's one of those I admire because he's doing in fact, he's doing physical training right now. He's not just virtual; it's going back to
I see in his FB post that he's doing face-to-face training.
exactly, and that's so brave of him. And I think that is also part of the challenge of us trainers because we really have to adjust. We're the very first ones who have to step out now because we
Yes.
have to coexist, and it's quite important as well.
And of course, Ninit Mantalaba. No, I miss her. She was the board, a member of the board of trustee when I was president of PIMA.
Yes, sir. Former president.
Okay,
I mean,
so okay, just in time. You know, I'm watching our time frame. So, the reason why we are here because you would like to discuss about your regional conference.
yes.
Yes. Uh, uh, why is the theme HR Unfrozen? Can we have the slide, Mavin, on the HR Unfrozen? Yes. Tell us, Jovenir, why HR Unfrozen?
The theme was actually was designed last year, even before COVID,
COVID. Yes.
and there's always the impression that HR has always been very conventional. For a lot of people, especially outsiders in the practice, people consider human resource or the HR people that they have in the company as the seat of control, the ones who actually make sure that policies are implemented. And these are the traditional concept of what human resource management is. And that's sad because people and also HR practitioners conform to the roles. So we are not known for our the way we do change in terms of organization. We can be very conservative. And so we wanted to unfreeze that concept and allow change. And that is the idea behind HR Unfrozen. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it the virus happened. And so now being tested, and this is a great time to really review what we're supposed to be doing and then make meaningful changes.
You're right. Um, let me. It's not a joke. When you say Unfrozen, it's very similar to that Disney movie,
Yeah,
Frozen. And then there is that song of Let It Go.
let it go. Yes.
Yes. So that is really we can connect that HR now must really let go, soar, and then really unfreeze. Am I
Yes.
right,
Yes,
Jovenir?
that's right. It's we. If you look at the sub theme, and this is the best time to really have clarity in what we're supposed to be doing. We're changing. We have to change with the times. We before we say work from home is a good concept, but now we're doing it, and everybody's doing it, and so we need to have clarity in terms of what we're supposed to be doing right now as people.
Right. Which is why you have that webinar. Right. Right.
Yeah,
So it means that long ago there was that desire of HR to be a partner, to be at par with the other departments, to be an advisor, the roles of HR. But you're right. For the longest time, we are not really letting go. So this is the time, and COVID compelled us that we should be really unfreeze us. We should be unfrozen and really do what we are supposed to do, what is expected to do, our roles, and
yeah,
we become what they call the lead in the front lines, the lead.
exactly. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly, sir.
I remember Jovener even in the traditional what do you call that scorecard, the
Mhm.
when you do strategic planning, the,
Yes,
the there are four components. The first one is people, then
yes,
we have operations, customers, and
yeah,
finance.
yes, sir.
So it's actually the people is actually the lead. But the problem is we know that it's supposed to be the lead, but a lot of us are still in the fridge. So we have to be unfrozen. Is that right?
Exactly. It's like you wrote the theme yourself, sir. Thank you so much.
Wow! I'll give my commendation to the one who thought about this very crisp and very impactful thing,
I'll,
HR Unfrozen. Because when you read it, you really have to think why Unfrozen. Now tell us, what do we mean by the tagline? What is the tagline, Jovenir?
So the tagline is the power of clarity. So now we can, and you mentioned it, so we need to look at it in a totally different light. So it's like a clean slate. So we have to be very clear what exactly are we here for. Then we're going to do self mastery. If you're familiar with At the start of the decade, the Association for Talent and Development actually released a new skill set for the new decade. So then we can have a requirement for new masteries, and then the letting go part. There are things that we have to delegate and to pass on to other members of the organization because HR cannot do anything. So for HR to be more efficient, it has to choose to be very selective on the areas it can actually best deliver on. So yun po yung
Right. I remember Jovenir, in my webinars on work from home, I've been telling them this is not the time that HR should be shy. This
yes,
is not the time that HR should have no confidence because you are expected to be the lead, to be the lead. So it's actually self mastery, and self mastery is not actually going back to the competencies that we know. We have to
yes,
look forward what are the new competencies that we have to develop. And
exactly,
then
sir.
one of that is the most common use now is resilience and agility. But are we clear? Which is why I think you really nailed it. The first one is the clarity. We have been talking about work from home. We have been talking about agility. But have we really nailed it? What is really agility? Is it actually just being fast and furious? That is not agility. I love your tagline, Jovenir.
Thank you, sir.
So let's have first our first break so that later on we can have uh, a more lengthy conversation. I will ask you who are the speakers, what are the topics, and what are expected in the regional conference. This is virtual, Jovenir, no?
Yes,
Jovenir,
virtual.
this is virtual. So that
Yeah,
means that even those in Manila, if you're listening, or in Baguio, or in Mindanao, or even outside of the country, can join the conference because this is virtual.
exactly, sir.
Okay.
Exactly.
And that we are going to invite them. I'm just telling them that they should be interested because this is virtual. Okay, so let's have the first uh, series of commercials that we have. Welcome back to the HR hotline. Marvin, we still have a slide that I will have to show to them so that we'll invite them that they should be tuned in with uh, the TNC. We have the big picture hosted by Lloyd Luna from Mondays to Fridays. And we have the family business that will gives that gives us insights on how to run a family. Then we have the fourth project coming from Dubai. Then we have Usapang Beauty. Then COVID Stories, which just had its inauguration the other day. It will tell us of inspiring stories on how you're going to um, combat the virus. Then the inspirational program with exciting episodes, The U-Turn, and Dante Salamat's The Home Buyer, a funny and engaging light program, The Puppet Stories, and we have The Marketplace, YOLO, you have to understand law with fun, and then we have the money and more. Then every Monday we have the talk after shift. It's your what you have to leave after office hours, and then win within. Then we have Danny, foreign affairs, then Healthline. The family is getting bigger. It is the new normal. We have to tune in and be online using your gadgets, watching the TNC shows. But don't forget, you are my, what do you call this? Lunch date every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Okay, so I mentioned about my short story before about being in associations. And to continue, I would like to mention that even before when I was president, and I would like to mention past President Obet Policarpio. We were so engaged with PMAP annual conference that there was a time we were in charge of um, holding people going to buses going to Baguio. The annual conference was actually in Baguio. So as early as 2 o'clock, we're there in Mega Mall. Uh, that was the meeting place, and we were actually in charge of uh, the participants, the delegates ride going up to Baguio. So that's how, of course, the being officer of the day, and then for the longest time, as I'm always helping PP Jean in the uh, raffle. I am the raffle person. The what do you call that? uh, the barker in raffles of PMAP fellowship uh, segment of the annual conference. So with that, let's have Jovenir again. Let's have Jovenir. Okay, Jovenir.
Sir. Hi.
Yes. Uh, who are your keynote speakers? Tell us.
Sir, before can I just insert a few more
Yeah,
names?
sure, of course, of course, of course.
I couldn't get out of the house if I don't mention the name, especially Miss Vera Cristina Villamor, our vice chair. She's the real life Elsa of our HR Unfrozen. We have Pat Colina, Marulina Villegas, and we also have Melody Inveto. I like to acknowledge Flor Tampus, Sir Bobot Kodoy, and
Yes.
I think that's just about it. Ma'am Nympha Tabasa and Ma'am Nilda Ravina. So thank you so much. That's the board for this year. Our keynote address speaker is Ms. Karen Davila. She will be talking about HR and Frozen. And at the other end, of course, is Mr. Francis Kong. I think both personalities don't need further introduction. Sir Francis Kong will be talking about the future, the new world order, something to believe in. And we will also have 5 plenary speakers. We have Dane Lee, who will talk about the new
Oh,
talent.
wonderful.
Yes. We have Dr. Frederick Bohos from Malaysia. He's going to talk about
Wow.
mindfulness. And we have Minchu Desena of Chonghua Hospital, who will talk about engagement. We also have Nikki Abilia of Rada Consultancy. She will talk about internal customer experience. And we have Drew Fernandez of the Coca-Cola Company, who will talk about leadership and why the remote control is no longer functional in the post-pandemic world. But I think a lot of people are also excited about the activities that we're going to present, Sir Jesse, and you are very much a big part of it. So
Okay, so what is this? What are the other expectation to this? I was just looking at you. You have an impressive lineup of speakers. Okay,
thank
so okay, it's here. Tell us, Jovenir, what is this all about?
Okay, so the blind audition for talents is our first virtual fellowship because we could not meet in one venue for this conference. We're going to do breakout rooms, and this is a game suggests, no, and then we're going to break out the rooms of the different participants at random, and then they will be assigned in one group, and so they will have a chance to mingle online with the respective team members. But the task for each group is to field candidates for a specific hiring. And if you're familiar with The Voice, it's a takeoff from that show. So the judges that we have, the jury that we have, well, we have a very much impressive lineup of the members of the jury, and we have Michael Godinez, our trustee, of course, Miss Julia Robilius. For those of you who know her, she's a brand and identity
Yes,
consultant,
yes, I
and of
know
course,
her.
you suggest. So
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
yes. So you will be looking for teams, not just individuals, and you will be asking them for specific qualities. At this time, cameras off. They will just have to project themselves with their voices, so you can test how confident they are, how fluent they are, and they know exactly what they're talking about, and you will make your judgments based on that. So the teams with the most number of hires, as we call them, will win the game. So that's the blind audition for talents.
That's wonderful. Your PMAP Cebu has come up with a lot of innovations. I remember I don't know if you were there, you were one of those who started the reverse classroom in a conference.
Yes, sir. That was back in 2018. We did that for the conference as well. So
Yes.
we followed the lead, of course, of our mother organization, PMAP. So thank you so much.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful engagement, participation, and of course, innovative ways of engaging your participants. I am really excited for this, Jovenir, because I will be one of those the judges actually.
Yes, sir.
Judges that will. How many groups are you going to have?
It depends on the number. We're expecting 200 for this conference. So we're looking at 5 or 6 groups for the team audition.
Okay, let's hold on this. I'm going to be a little bit entrepreneurial because I can see a lot of sponsors in that poster. We have Virginia IntelliCare. What is the other one? Phil.
Vega, and we
And,
also have the Phil Insurer, and of course Cebu General Services Incorporated. So these are just the top 5 sponsors that we have, and we're still getting more. So for those of you who are interested, if you want to become a sponsor and with the kind of exposure that we're getting, we'd like to encourage you to join us for the very first regional conference, virtual regional conference of PMAP Cebu. By the way, sir, yes, I'd also like to speak briefly about HR Woke. It's our HR forum, and we also have a very impressive lineup of speakers for this. This will be moderated by Mr. Bobot Kodoy of Seda Hotel, and our speakers include our very own Vice President for PMAP National, Ms. Lynn Muki. We also have Christopher Kamba of the Avoidance Equity Ventures Incorporated. We have Rhoda Castro Kaliwara of PALSCON,
I know her. She's a friend.
who's the national president of PALSCON. And
Yeah.
we also have, from Timex Philippines, we have Santana Valenzuela, and he's the president of Timex Philippines. So they will be talking about social issues that HR needs to be involved in right now.
Why HR Walk?
It's a millennial thing, and I think Sir Mike Godinez knows that very well. When you say you're woke, that means you are aware of the current issues that are affecting people right now. So when you say you're woke, that means you're up to date and you are involved. So this forum is very important for us because we will be talking about unemployment, family preparedness, and all about linked to the pandemic, of course, and social activism, the employee activism right now. Most of our employees are actually involved. They're voicing out their they're finding their voice in social issues, and of course, local governance influence, which is very important as we work with our local government units and as we help each other. So that
That's
runs.
interesting. Jovenir,
Yeah,
that's interesting. That means that you are not a sleeping HR. You are an
exactly,
awake HR. And
exactly.
then what are you going to discuss? Actually, it runs the full. It is it cuts across.
Yes.
It cuts across. Okay, among the keynote speakers, which topic would you think that you are endorsing so that people will register?
I would have to play no bias today, and I would like to endorse all the topics because each one has been designed for the industry, for the times, and I think, and I know there are a lot of, and suggest I would like to just make a comment that when it's so difficult to actually have people attend workshops, right, paid workshops and paid conferences right now because of what we're going through. But while there are a lot of free content out there, conferences like what we're having in PMAP Cebu and PMAP National are very, very important because they're already designed and they're tailor fit for the industry. So
That's
it's
right.
really
That's
helpful.
right.
Yeah. And it,
For
yeah.
us to be updated, for HR to be updated, they have to attend conferences so that
Yes.
they can get what is the latest, what is being what's the buzz in the industry. But
Exactly.
I'm just curious. Tell me one or a couple or three of topics that you think should be attended by HR.
First is mindfulness. And we have
Right.
a speaker for mindfulness because right now we worry about things. We worry about tomorrow. We worry about this afternoon. And mindfulness brings that to the very important message that the here and now is very important. It's what we can do now. It's what we can actually manage now. And before we face the front lines, HR people should also be very mindful of their own strengths and weaknesses. We cannot take care of other people unless we take care of ourselves. So that's the
Right,
first.
nice, nice. I will endorse this to my students, previous students in HR. What else? Two more, two more. What other topics that they should expect?
I'd like to talk about how do we engage people in a time where we're supposed to be wearing face shields and masks. And this is the talk by Ms. Mincho Dicena. She works in the hospital, by the way, Trauma Hospital, and it's a very different environment right now. We cannot get physically close to each other, and we talk through the internet, for example. But how can we get our sincerity through? How can we reach
I
out so that
love it. I
because
love it. Allow
yes,
me to attend. I would like to listen to that to that part of the program. Last, one more, so that people will really be excited to attend. What
another
is
one is by meeting.
mindfulness, and the other one is that one of engagement. The other one is
The other one is about internal customer experience. We are very good with external customer experience, but we majority of organizations actually fail in trying to treat each other as customers. And so we take each other for granted. This time is an opportunity for us to look back because I don't know if you subscribe to the idea, but customers will have to come next. Employees first, especially at this time. So that talk about customer internal customer experience is very, very important. It's ICX. Employees first, customers next.
I love that. Again, my commendation to the group who came up
Right.
with these topics. I love it. Very, very up to this, to the very aligned to the theme and up and relevant to the times. So
Thank you, sir.
that means that we need to have not only for the Visayas chapters, but for all the chapters, and PMAP National must be able to attend this conference. What else do you have? What else do we expect?
There's a special component about the regional conference because for those of you who will register, a part of the proceeds will actually go to an organization that is actually supporting frontline efforts in the fight against COVID-19. So this is actually a special project for PMAP Cebu. So by attending, you're not only helping yourself and your organization, you're helping others as well.
I know you are going to send me something.
I am.
Having, can we have that poster wherein there is a bag? What is
It's
this all about?
We also have a toteful bag. It's a tote bag which actually contains your usual wellness kit, and we're giving that away to the participants, and we're sending that to the participants. Also inside the bag is a copy of, and it's my shameless plug, a copy of my book. It's Finding Mr. HRD, and this is going to be, it's a design
Yes,
copy.
tell us about your book. It's there. Marvin, our director, flashed it. What is all this
Yes.
all about this book?
It's a product of the isolation. It's a product of being quarantined. It was a very dark moment, but then it was actually a story inspired by, back in 30 years ago. Sir Jess, there was this letter that was in, the roving guard was trying to look for somebody named Mr. HRD, and he's been looking around it, and it's been looking, asking, was there an expat in the company, was there an employee in the company? The answer was no, and she had been going around most of the morning trying to look for the guy. And then fortunately she found me, and I was in the office, and I looked at it and I said, this is a strange letter, because it was not postmarked. It was actually handwritten, it was scribbled, and there was no return sender. And I realized it was just dropped off at the plant. And so I said, I don't think this one is for a specific person. And I was right, because that letter was intended for HRD, the department, not for a specific
So,
person.
Mr. It's RD.
Yes, sir. So, kawawa yung applicant na baka nagtanong siya kanino ipapadala, sinabi HRD, so nilagay niya yung Mr. HRD. So, and it's quite a good story, as a lot of people don't really appreciate what HR is all about, what it can do for them. So this
Right.
tries to frame it in what really is HR. We're trying to dissect what HR is in terms of the role, and this is a product of 30 years, sir, of work. And by the way, Sir Jess, I'm also a Bicolano. I was born in Masbate.
Wow, wow. Kaya pala matalino, guwapo, at maurag.
Thank you. So,
Where in Masbate, Jovenir?
Masbate City, sir.
Masbate. Ang Bicolano, very, very keen and very ano dun sa mga Joven. My adopted son is actually Joven. And then we
What?
have Jovito, Hoben eh. Hoben. So I think that Jovenir is actually yung Hoben. Very good. Where you're from, Masbate. Anyway, you have other two books that you mentioned.
I had before that I had fiction novels. So I wrote, my very first was Under the Red Carpet, and then I wrote Legally Dead, and my very first love story was A Crowded House. And very soon I'm coming up with A Bucket Helmet and the Paper Gun War, which was actually set in Masbate, sir. Yung coming na book. So it's my first love, the fiction novels. It's gonna be released before the end of the month, hopefully, and it's gonna be available online, ordering online through IdeasCentral.ph. Yeah, so IdeasCentral.ph. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah, okay. I want to mention, but I'm a very transparent person. Um, I mentioned it that I really would like to come up with a book also. I'm trying to transcribe the episodes, and this can be a nice content for a book.
Yes.
So you'll be since you are here, you'll be one of the chapters.
Wow, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Anyway, going back. So you're going to give a book, then, and what is the connect? What is the connection? Allow me to answer. What is the connection of the book with the theme? Is there any connection, or this is just a something to be as a token? Is there
It,
any connection?
it is, sir. It's actually a compilation of some of the new, fresh insights. And this book has been written during the pandemic. So the most up to date information, the data, the insights, the shared experience
Wow.
clients,
Wow.
all there. So if you just want a single reference book, and hopefully this can become a trusty handbook for everybody, finding Mr. HRD. So it's gonna go to every single registrant of PMAP Cebu's RC20. And may I tell them the price, sir, if that's okay?
Which one? I will ask you about the prices
Yeah.
after the second break. But
Okay.
before we go to the second break, I would like to ask you, since we started about your book, and so you are the managing consultant of your outfit. Can you
Yes.
tell us just briefly, what do you do now, Jovenir?
Well, Primarily, I do training, and it's that's why I wrote a book, because in March I lost all my projects and everything else, and I think it has happened to a lot of us. We were at a loss on what to do next, especially those in training. I've spoken to a lot of trainers and management consultants. The main problem is, how do we start all over again with a new medium, and if there's no vaccine in sight? So I do training, I do management consulting on the side, and I also do event management and a bit on creative work as well. So those are the things that I do, sir. Tumatanggap din ng labada during weekends.
That's how you're going to. Yeah. Actually, that is that very very same here, because I'm scared going out. So I started offering myself to do mentoring. I do mentoring. I have three mentees now, and paid. They're paying
Very
me
good.
executive mentoring, and then I do webinars. And yes, it's a new platform. I would like to call you one of these days that you have to be a member of the Philippine Association of Professional Speakers, because I can see in you that you have that zest for actually sharing what we have. Bicolanong Bicolano. Okay, we'll have our second break, and after that, a couple of questions and your party message. Marvin? We are in the last portion of this episode, HR Hotline. So, how do we fare? FARE. As HR people, as individuals, are we a member of any group? Do we belong to any association? So, that is the question. How do we fare in our life? You may be the best HR, but you are not actually a member of a group. Actually, the job fair that we have here, you can send your application to recruitment at Wills Lucena and Associates, WDA Incorporated.com PH. They're still looking for HR people, engineers, even a warehouse manager. So, wonderful that they're still looking for that. I was just mentioned by I would like to mention this. I was just informed by my student Lay that Accenture, they're looking for uh, call center agents, customers. Call center agents. So next time I'll try to post it so that if you are interested, if you know people who can who are looking for jobs, you can endorse the the email addresses. We also have one from Puzzlebox. Can we have that one from Puzzlebox? They're looking for an HR officer, graphic artist, copywriters, media buyers, and then you can send your resumes to careers at puzzlebox.inc.com. So we will. I have a webinar on October 1 on conducting virtual competency-based interviews. If you're interested, uh, you can just PM it. And then I have a new poster wherein there is what is written there is the link for you to register. And also a one in ECOP, I'm going to do a succession planning webinar. So again, let's go back to the topic. So you have to be a member of an association, and it's nice. And you have to be engaged in the events of an association. It has to be related in what you do. For HR, it's everybody's concern. It doesn't mean that HR hotline are only for HR people, owners, managers. HR is permeated. The function is actually everybody's function. Parents at the house, you are the HR officer of your homes. So you need to get insights from these episodes. So let's have Jovenir again.
Thank you.
Okay, okay. Jovenir, uh, can you tell us how much is the price of joining the regional conference?
It's the price is 2,500. So that's the registration rate for RC20. Suggest.
And
And
this
it's
is for 3 days. This is for 3 days.
yes, sir. It starts on October 7 in the afternoon, and then October 8 in the morning up until 12, and it closes on October 9 from 1 to 5:30. Of course, it's going to be wrapped up with.
So the 2-5 is actually a. You mean to tell me you're going to have a whole day event on?
Number. So it's half day afternoon on the 7th, and then half day in the morning on the 8th, and half day in the afternoon on the 9th.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Then you have to have a book from the. How about if I am from Baguio? Are you going to send us the tote full bag?
I used to live in Baguio, so I'll go there myself. No, really, we will find a way. We will find a way to deliver all that we promised, that we committed to everyone. So please join us.
Okay.
And
How can they register? How can they register?
Cebu.
So what
So
is what is the email address?
it's PMAP. There's a online registration at pmapcebu.com. So that's
So it's easy.
pmapcebu.com.
It's pmopsibo.com.
Yes, sir. And that's a
So they can
registration.
already register online. And
Yes,
then
sir.
how are they going to pay? Pay Maya,
Online as
GCard?
well, sir. We have payment options that we're going to offer them. Direct deposit to the account of PMAP Cebu. So it's going to be very easy. As soon as you can just go to the website and then just send an email to us, and we'll get in touch with you, and we'll make sure it's going to be easy on your parts. So all you have to do is just commit to joining us on October 7th to 9th.
I would like to read those people who are actually watching us. We have Gian, we have Paula, Therese, we have Cho, and Chito. What is Chito's role in the conference? Aside
He's
from aside from Intellicare being the as a sponsor.
Yes, sir. He's actually with finance together with Ma'am Ninette, Ma'am Grace Iligan, and Ma'am Nympha, Ma'am Odette. A very powerful team because we really wanted to make sure that we deliver the kind of conference that everybody deserves. And for a small organization, Rich, I mean, a relatively small organization like us in Cebu, this one's an ambitious project, suggests, especially it's technology based.
Don't pull my leg. You are not a small association because I used to attend your conferences. At the time, pre-COVID, there was a conference wherein you have more than 500, almost 1,000 attendees. The time that I was a speaker, I was with uh, ABS-CBN. There's the name Charo Santos.
Yes. Well, we're inching away, but we cannot do this alone, and that's why we're very grateful for the support that you're extending to us, sir. And
Yeah, well,
the whole
what we can do is we can endorse, and then there is a recording we can just share and share this so that people will
Yeah.
be interested. So before you have your parting message, can you now uh, invite first? Parting message, something insightful, but first invite everybody to attend. Please do, Jovenir.
Yes. On behalf of PMAP Cebu, I'd like to invite everybody anywhere in the world right now. So please join us for the 20th and first virtual regional conference and the third Visayas Summit here in Cebu. We're going to do it live virtually. And it's going to happen again October 7th to 9th. So please register. It's HR Unfrozen, the power of clarity, self mastery, and letting go.
And can we have your parting message? That was the invitation. That was the invitation.
Okay,
Can you
so
can we have something from you just to tell the viewers?
for somebody who's into people management who wants to lead teams, it's a very difficult time. We are going to be tested. It's not over yet, and it's going to change the way we do things. And we need all the help that we can get. We need insights, fresh information, and shared experiences with other HR professionals out there. So a gathering like this is so important for us. Please let us do our we have a very, very important mandate to serve people. And we can do that very well if we are open to new ways of doing things. So thank you so much.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I just found out that he's a fellow Bicolano. Uragon. Uragon.
I would suggest. Thank you so
We
much
did
again.
not we did not have any script for this, and it is a free-flowing discussion. And you are not actually what do you call this? Parang pushing it that you have to join us. But going back to what I mentioned, all of us should belong to an association. We have to be engaged in the events and activities of the association. And as an HR person, as a uh, as an individual is actually working or managing, we need to attend the first virtual regional conference of Cebu PMAP Chapter. It's HR Unfrozen, and we discuss what will be expected: engagement, self mastery, wonderful, and we have to be updated. Going back, as I mentioned in my introduction, for one to be updated, no one is an island. You have to be with an association so that you will know that, as mentioned by our guest, so that you will know what is the bus, so that you will not be left behind. So will you know what you will do in the better normal, in the better normal. So I started in grade one as the president of the class. I am now engaged in 4, 5 associations, very, very much engaged. And my participation is that of a mere officer of the day, wherein I do tasks, or somebody who looks into the theme, try to assess the flow. My point is, it's for you to be updated. It's for you to know, because that is what actually you are doing. It is just like, say, you are a vendor. You have to be a member of the vendors association. You are a tricycle driver. You have to be a member of the TODA for you to know if you're still going to wear masks, if you're going to still wear the face shields. If you're a teacher, the teachers association. If you're an HR, the HR Association, and attend regional conference. We have a nice event in PMAP Cebu. It's 2005 for 3 days. Wonderful speakers, engaging topics that we will insights and learnings. Join, join. So there goes, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo, just marvelous